Hello friends, welcome back to Raju Notes channel, your weekly current affairs updates. Today we will do the current affairs updates from 23rd to 30 April of 2022. Before I start the video, I will certainly request you to please bear with me. I am traveling, so you can probably hear some background noises of the vehicles moving around. So please bear with me for this particular update and ignore those voices if you hear, if any. Thank you so much. So let's quickly get into the main updates of what happened this week. So we will do the updates from 23rd of this month to 30th of this month. The first update is coming from the Solomon Islands. The Biden administration on Thursday had warned the Solomon Islands that the United States will take unspecified action against the South Pacific nation should it recently concluded cooperation agreement with China pose a threat to US or any of the allied interests. We had discussed about this in the last our update as to how Solomon Islands had inked a pact with China. Well, this message was delivered directly to the country's leadership by a visiting senior US delegation. The delegation expressed concerns that the deal with China raises questions about its scope and purpose. And according to the Washington White House, which has limited transparency in the agreement and has casted doubts on Solomon Islands' official claims that the deal was purely domestic. During the visit, the US also discussed its plans to reopen the embassy in the Solomon's capital of Honiara. It tries to increase its presence in the strategically important country amidst the growing concerns about China's influence. We all know that the US embassy was closed in the Solomon Islands in 1993. Our next update, an assistant sub-inspector, that is an ASI of a Central Industrial Security Force, also called a CISF, was killed on Friday in a terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir city of Sunjwan. The police sources had said that the terrorists attacked a bus of the CISF troops near the Chedda camp in Jammu city around 4:25 am. The bus was carrying about 15 troopers for the morning shift duties, and the CISF troopers effectively retaliated against its attack and forced the terrorists to run away. But one CISF ASI lost his life and two other troopers were injured in the attack. This attack came in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's scheduled visit to Jammu on April 24. You can see the complete video of this attack. I have left a link of the CCTV footage in my description below. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday tweeted a congratulatory message to France Emmanuel Macron for winning a second term as the country's president. We all know that in France only 2 terms are allowed for a president. The 44-year-old, despite many political challenges, defeated far-right rival Marine Le Pen with 58% margin. He is the first president in 20 years to return to a consecutive term in France. His victory is said to be a relief to the West and even the investors, with fears over disruptions in policies diminishing. India has been maintaining good relations with France and is dependent on many frontline aircrafts like Mirage, Jaguar and even the latest Rafale. So it is a good news for India that Macron is back into the chair. Well, the biggest news of this week is all about Twitter and Elon Musk. Elon Musk has finally taken over the CEO of Twitter and acquired the social media platform for a $44 billion deal. And there has been a lot of speculations and rumors that has been heard about this takeover. One sure thing is it will certainly make a change in the way the things were moving on Twitter. This topic will be of an utmost important for all the job interviewers and probably for your civil services examination, with its specific link to effect on India. Please watch out for my channel in next few days, where I shall prepare a detailed analysis video as to what to expect from this move of Musk taking over the Twitter CEO. Well, please understand, Musk has bought this. The company worth was around 39. Musk has 44. Musk has invested about $39 billion of his own. Rest, he's taking loans, and loans. Who is giving him the loan? It is China. So will China is not on Twitter. So what is happening now? Musk taking over the company. The company is no more public. It becomes private. What will be effect of this? Will the people like Donald Trump who were taken off from the platform, will they be put back? Yes or no? A lot of debate. So please be on a lookout. I will be posting a video, detailed video on this particular incident of Elon Musk taking over the Twitter. Coming to Pakistan, a blast has ripped through a minibus, injuring at least 4 others near the universities of Confucius Institute at Karachi, Pakistan. The separatist Baloch Liberation Army, also called as BLA, said it attacked this vehicle carrying the Chinese staff, and that the suicide bomber had been a woman. The BLA has opposed the Chinese investments in Pakistan and said that the locals do not benefit out of it. It would be the first time a suicide attack by the BLA has been carried out by a female militant. The group has targeted the Chinese national on number of occasions, which we heard, wherein 9 Chinese were killed on the dam site, and now the second one. And it is also Al-Pakistani Taliban is also doing the same thing to Chinese. We know that Chinese is heavily involved in large infrastructure projects across the Pakistan, including the resource-rich Balochistan province. The dead includes the director of the Confucius Institute, a Chinese government-run body which offers language and cultural programs overseas, and 2 other faculty members in the Karachi. The CCTV footage showed a woman standing outside the gate of the institute as the van arrives, followed by a powerful explosion. The BLA released a photo of a woman in fatigues raising 2 fingers in salute, who it is said have carried out the attack. Her name is Shahari Baloch, alias Barmash. Link of the CCTV footage to this attack has also been shared in the description below. Please go ahead and see this events unfolding. Now, a lot of questions now have to be asked as to what is the future of CPEC and role of China in Pakistan now, with lots of revolt and displacements happening against China. Will China be interested in making any further investments in Pakistan? How is it going to affect India? What should be India's stance right now? And how is Pakistan dealing with both its internal and external pressures coming from all around? So this will be a topic in your discussions somewhere. The Mauritian Air Squadron, also called as the MAS of the Mauritius Police Force (MPF), is now equipped with a new passenger variant of Dornier PVD aircraft, as well as with a leased advanced light helicopter from India. This commissioning ceremony has been seen as a milestone in Mauritius government and the government's endeavor to protect its territorial integrity and also enhance the operational capabilities of the MPF. The event underlines the landmark in its long-standing relationship between Mauritius and India, and a symbol of fruitful collaboration between the Indian Navy and the MPF. I have been constantly covering Mauritius, and Mauritius certainly becomes our India's very important asset in the Indian Ocean region. News coming in now: Russia cuts off gas to 2 NATO nations in a bid to divide the West. Literally, yes. Russia has cut off natural gas to NATO's member of Poland and Bulgaria on Wednesday and threatened to do so to the same other countries, and using its most essential export in what is seen as a bid to punish and divide the West over its support for Ukraine. The move, condemned by European leaders as blackmail, marked a dramatic escalation in the country's war sanction and counter sanctions that has unfolded in parallel to fighting on the battlefield. The tactics coming in a day after US and the Western allies vowed to rush more and heavier weapons into Ukraine. So it became essential for Russia now to come out with such a thing, and it has vowed that it will not supply any more gas to these two nations. See, amidst all this ruckus and the things going on, you should believe that European Union is the most gas importing area, and it is pointing fingers to the world. So this particular act has to be seen on a larger picture. And also, yes, the Poland has been a major gateway for the delivery of weapons to Ukraine, and confirmed this week that it is sending some more tanks into Ukraine. So this had literally kind of pissed off Russia, and this rather step was taken. And in this topic, connect the dots with Russia undermining the petrodollar and saying that pushing in rubles for the payment of petrodollars. 66-year-old Nandan Nilekani is probably the most well-known founding tech of Infosys, along with N.R. Narayana Murthy, and has also played a major part in developing the Aadhaar biometric along with UPI payment systems and other such like apps. However, the latest project Mr. Nilekani is to save the online retail market of India from challenges of these mammoth e-commerce companies like Amazon, Flipkart, and to provide the local shops an online platform that will allow them to participate in the space of digital commerce. The project is currently known as Open Network for Digital Commerce, also called as ONDC, and is reportedly being an open network for small merchants to directly provide their products to either traders or consumers. So let's see how much this software or an app works. Initially, the same was said when the UPI was launched, same was said when the Aadhaar was launched. So let's hope and pray that this becomes a good success. Indonesia has put a ban on export of palm oil and last week, and at least 2.9 lakh tons of palm oil shipments which were already headed to India are now in a doldrums. It is caught in a doldrums, and this has come at a time shortly after India is facing the sunflower oil imports because of Russia-Ukraine war. So my main point of getting this point is, now with Indonesia taking up the step of banning the palm oil, India is certainly going to be affected. There we might see a edible oil price rising in our Indian markets. So again, India somehow lacks in this sector of palm oil. So can something be done? Can those places be utilized which are not fit for normal cultivation but can cater for palm oil in India? So if so, can we look into that direction? That are the questions which we need to ask. We all know Sri Lanka is going through a lot of turmoil in all senses. So amidst all this, Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has agreed to remove his older brother Mahinda Rajapaksa as the PM in a proposed interim government to solve a political impasse. And this impasse was caused by the country's worst economic crisis in decades. We know that India is pushing so much of oil in terms of loans. A lot of food grains have been stuffed. We have seen Tamil Nadu government it has passed a resolution today, unanimous resolution in Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly, that Tamil Nadu will send humanitarian aid as a state from Tamil Nadu to the Tamilians in Sri Lanka. How will center react to it? That is a question mark. But as of now, finally taking a cognizance in the Sri Lankan higher echelons, now Mahinda Rajapaksa has been pulled down. So we all know that the Sri Lankans basically blame the Rajapaksa family for this economic crisis happening in Sri Lanka. Another news today as far as the armed forces is concerned, Lieutenant General BS Raju has been appointed as a new Vice Chief of the Army Staff. Lieutenant General Raju is currently serving as the Director General of Military Operations, also called as the DGMO. It is one of the rare times in the probably in the Indian Army who before an army officer is put as a vice chief of the army staff, he generally is a army commander. Basically, he commands one particular big area. So General Raju has been a DGMO and has not been an army commander, but has been appointed as a vice chief. Well, that is a breakaway from the routine, and he will take charge of the vice chief on 1st of May. And if you recollect earlier, Lieutenant General Manoj Pandey was named as the army chief, which we had covered in the last update. Indigo has become the first airline to land an aircraft using the Indian navigational system Gagan. Rather, Indigo used this system, and it rather used an ATR 72 aircraft for a flight, and it landed at Kishangarh Airport in Rajasthan on Wednesday morning. It used a GPS aided geo-augmented navigation system called as Gagan, which has been jointly developed by the Center Run Airports Authority of India, that is AAI, and the Indian Space Research Organization ISRO. Gagan is used to provide lateral and vertical guidance when an aircraft is approaching a runway for landing. Its precision is especially useful at a small airports where the instrument landing system, which you must have heard about, ILS, is not being installed. The DGCA has issued a mandate for all the aircrafts registered in India after July 1st, 2021 to be fitted with Gagan equipment. Indigo said that Gagan will modernize the airspace and reduce the flight delays, in addition to saving the fuel and improving the flight safety. Gagan is expected to increase the safety by using a three-dimensional approach operation with course guidance to the runway. A beautiful system. Anything to save lives is always the most welcome change. So, and this is giving a push to India's Atmanirbhar as far as the navigation system is concerned. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued a very strong warning across India of a severe heat wave going across the country, and it has urged the citizens to avoid heat exposure and avoid dehydration. They have requested people to drink sufficient water even if you're not thirsty, wear light color clothes, light cotton clothes, and cover your head by all means, and or an umbrella, whatever possible. I have previously made a video on how to stay hydrated, rather 10 beautiful tips to stay hydrated, very easy, and I have just left a link in my description. Do visit that video and see simple tips to keep yourself hydrated in such a hot climate. Another breaking news. It is said that the recently introduced FASTag system will be ending. I mean to say, now no more kilometers. The more the kilometers you walk on the highway, the more toll will be charged. Well, in short, let me explain this. This is that as of now, suppose if you enter a toll gate, you will be charged say 100 rupees from one toll gate to the second toll gate, irrespective whether you are crossing that toll gate, you are reaching the toll gate, or maybe you are crossing this toll gate and you're taking just 5 kilometers ahead and you are getting off from the expressway, but you need to pay the full toll charge from one toll gate to another. Well, this is going to end, and now you will be probably be required to pay the amount of distance what you travel only as a toll. This system is super, I must say, successful in the European and the Western world. That same is now likely to be implemented in India, though the complete details is yet to be revealed, but somehow this thing is going to happen very soon. And before I end this week's update, the much discussed like what we had discussed, General Manoj Pandey has taken over as the 29th Chief of the Army Staff from General Naravne. So, in case you are asked who is your Chief of the Army Staff, now it is General Manoj Pandey. PVSM, Param Vishes Seva Medal, Ati Vishes Seva Medal, Vishes Seva Medal, and ADC. And we all had known and seen that he is the first officer from the Corps of Engineers to hold this post, and he will be in chair And now the question is open as to who will be our next CDS. Your guess is as good as mine, and let's see when the government makes this announcement, and let's see how it happens. Well, that was the last point of mine in this update, longish update. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe to it. And if you are listening to me, and probably even if it is the second time, that means I deserve that click on your screen. So yeah, please help me in reaching more and more people who will be benefited from such updates. And please wear masks. We are still getting news that of COVID now slowly on the rise. Please wear mask, sanitize your hair, hands, and stay safe. God bless you all.